Welcome to the channel where all you gotta do is, well, explain why I have a YouTube channel. So, first thing I want to point out is I've surpassed the 1,000 subscriber mark. So thank you everybody that watches or subscribes, comments. I look at all of them, I appreciate them. Some are a little weird, but you know, we're all come from a different place in life, and I get that. So anyway, thank you. The other thing I wanted to mention was I never expected to make a ton of money doing this YouTube stuff. If I become 100air from it, then that's great. What I really want to do, and throughout my career I've had a pretty big opportunity to mentor talent, sometimes right out of college, sometimes a few years out of college, sometimes, you know, not college, just, you know, general co-workers that were, you know, talented enough, didn't have the education, but were talented enough and can totally do stuff above and beyond, you know, the average. So I want to thank all those people for listening to me and learning from me, and I definitely learned from them as well. Like I used to work in a machine shop where there was, you know, people coming through the door. Machine shops are notorious for turnover, and there were good ones and there were bad ones, but the one commonality between all of them is they all knew something I didn't know, right? So even the smartest ones you learn a lot from, the dumbest ones you learn something, right? You can always keep your eyes and ears open, and you will learn something. No matter, you know, no matter who they are, you can learn something from them. So you got to keep an open mind on that. Don't dismiss people because you believe they're under you or whatever. Like, they know stuff you don't. You know stuff they don't. And if both people can share that knowledge, then the world is a better place. So, with that, I would like to explain why I chose to do the YouTube thing. So as my hairline probably points out, I've been doing this a while. I graduated from college in '93, and I've been a full-time engineer most of that time. About I don't know, 2.5 years ago, I decided to kind of retire, and my employer at the time said, no, you can't. You can, you know, can you just work like part-time, you know, a couple days a week, whatever. So anyway, we made a deal, and so I've been doing that for a while. So currently I'm still doing that. I'm working like 3 days a week, which doesn't give me as much time as I wanted, but it's still fulfilling. I get to work with super smart people and solve challenging problems. And you know, I've had a very diverse career. I worked in the machine shop. You might know that from some of my videos on machining stuff. I've always been a car guy, but there are not a lot of car jobs in California and Michigan. It's terrible weather, so didn't want to be there. So I worked in the automotive aftermarket. I did superchargers. I did, you know, design work, ATVs, motorcycle engine design, as with my own company. I worked in the fuel injector industry in a startup. I worked at Haas Automation for, you know, making machine tools, spindles, tool changers, oil pumps, blah 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 blah. And I've also worked at Tesla doing gear train design. At Tesla, I was in charge of the drive unit, cooling and lubrication, and gear train. So that was kind of in the early days, 2014, 15-ish days, and then when it just got too much for one manager to handle, that got split off. So cooling and lubrication stayed with me, and gear train went to another manager. So so I have a lot of vast experience from, internal combustion engine, flow benches, porting heads, valve train design. I designed a couple of complete engines, one cylinder head stuff, 3 or 4 cylinder head stuff, and one, I resurrected an engine, an ultralight engine that was developed in the 80s, and it sat dormant for 20 years, 30 years. So anyway, I have a very diverse background in engineering in general. So I feel like I can share some of that knowledge with the general public, and I get to exercise my brain and answer questions and kind of formulate a plan to come up with new videos and stuff. So that keeps me, sharp, I think. Plus I work 3 days a week solving problems. So yeah, hopefully some of the stuff I do is pretty generic and pretty, kind of everybody should know that sort of thing, but everybody doesn't know everything. So I try not to dumb my videos down, but I try not to make believe I'm the smartest person on the planet. Because some of the stuff I've never done professionally, some of it's, amateurish. But I try to do the best I can and hope the community kind of helps me out. Like with the laser cutter turned into a plasma cutter. That got a little bit challenging, but some people on the internet kind of helped out, and I appreciate it. So the other thing I wanted to mention is where the name of the channel came from. So when I worked at Tesla, I had an engineering team. I don't know, anywhere between 6 and 12 people worked under me, and not under me like they were beneath me. I tried to hire people that were all smarter than me in niche areas, and I was just kind of like the band leader, but I wasn't the best musician there. So that's what I mean by under me. They reported to me. I had to, fill out all the dumb paperwork for HR and promotions and vacation time and that kind of stuff. That's what I mean by under. But we had a really good team of technicians that assembled the drive units for special builds, for special tests, disassembled them, inspected them. Super good bunch of people. And apparently, since they were typically young and, hadn't had as many trips around the sun as I had, I would come down from upstairs where the offices were down to the technician area, and I would say, I want this done. And they go, oh, I don't know how to do that. And I go, oh, all you gotta do is, and I wave my arms and explain how to do it, and then wander off upstairs. So apparently I did that without my knowing I was doing it, and I turned into the all you gotta do is guy. Of course, the other is the gray sweatshirt guy, right? Gray sweatshirts are awesome because you can bump into stuff, and you can, wipe your dirty, grubby hands under your armpits, and nobody sees it. So anyway, I could have called the channel Gray Sweatshirt Guy, I suppose, but all you got to do is seemed like a pretty good fit, because what I'm doing here is stuff that I would have been doing anyway. Like the skid steer, that engine was dying. I had to put a new motor in it. I could have rebuilt the flathead thing, but modern stuff is better than old stuff. So it uses way less fuel, it's quieter, it starts up every time, it's just way better. So anyway, all the stuff I'm doing I would have been doing anyway. So that's probably why there's no rhyme or reason to my videos. They're just kind of random. Okay, well, I need to do whatever I need to do. Oh, I need a compressor for that. Oh, my compressor's dying. I need to get a bigger compressor, and I don't want it in the shop because it makes a lot of noise. I got to build a house for the compressor. It's just what can I do to make it so I can do the next thing? And a lot of it is acquiring tools, getting the CNC working, getting a 3D printer, and big chop saw, building a flow bench, whatever, shock dyno. All this stuff is kind of not a big plan. I don't like sit down with my marketing director and go, I think we should do a video on XYZ. Like, that's not how it works. It's just like, okay, what do I got to do today? Well, the Mustang, I haven't. 2001 Mustang, that was my wife's daily driver. She got the Model S, hasn't driven it since. So it's been a non-op since 2019, so it's 7 years on non-op. And at least I put a new battery in it like a year ago, but up until then I had to get the jumper cables out, drive the bus to it, get it started so I can move it out of the way, and it was usually sitting there for 6 months or a year, so it was stuck in the mud. And anyway, so I'm trying to get upgrades to the property, building retaining walls and paving things and putting security cameras in. You don't know about that one yet. I haven't posted the video, but there's always something that has. It's just like your daily life, I'm sure, between work and wife and kids and soccer and race cars, dirt bikes to the desert, whatever you do. It's World Cup. So anyway, there's always something going on here, and that's what I view video. And the reason I do that is because I'm not really trying to make money doing YouTube videos, right? It was a goal of mine to get monetized. It took quite a while. I essentially get 1 subscriber per day, so that's like 2.5 years to get to 1,000. That's average. It's like, upsies and downsies and stuff like that, but that's kind of the average. Which I know to make a channel profitable, that would take 2,700 years. But that's not the goal. The goal is to hopefully get people thinking about how engineering works and how to do stuff, and getting them interested in not paying contractors to do a shitty job. Crappy job, doing a subpar job, and doing it yourself, because most of it's not that hard. You just have to pay attention and have a high standard, and you can totally do it. So I probably have too many projects going on, and the projects are to build the projects. I have more projects, right? So I got the Bronco going on, so I haven't really done much on that because the Mustang's sort of taken priority, but I only have, so many days in the week that I can work on it. And one of them is working on race car, typically Sunday, or the Sunday. Typically we'll work on that, and then there's test days, and then, whatever. There's anniversaries and birthday parties and visiting parents, and so put the kibosh on some of that. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with this. I just want to thank you for, tuning into the channel and subscribing to it and making comments. And I hope you enjoy it. It's not meant to be, drudgery and studying. And hopefully I try to make it a little bit lighthearted. And yeah, put something in the comments if there's something you think I should focus on more, because really the only reason I want more viewers and more subscribers is so I can share my knowledge with them and elevate the world's knowledge, I guess. And this is the venue that I chose. I guess I could write a book. I guess I could go teach. So cheers. Thanks for viewing.